guys. Okay, excited about tonight. So we talked today about adding bigger numbers, right? Where we had to do something called regrouping. Remember, to regroup means to group the numbers in a different way, okay? And so we talked about how if I have, for example, 23 plus 8, well, I have 11 ones altogether, so I'm going to need to take 10 of those ones and make a 10, right? And then I would have another 10 to add to my 2 10s. That would be 3 10s and 1 1, which makes 31. That was just a little quick review of what we did today. Okay, so today we're going to learn how to do that with writing in a little bit different way. All right, so if I have, so my title today is going to be, oops, a daisy. Let's move this little guy over here. We're going to say undo. We're going to click our marker, and here we go. Adding or addition with regrouping. Oh, I'm gonna run out of room. Addition with regrouping. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be exactly like what we talked about today, but we're going to show it by lining up our digits, okay? Lining up the digits according to their place value, okay? So I'm going to use that first example that I said. So let's say that I'm talking about 23 plus 8. Okay, so I'm going to stack those numbers one over the other. So make your numbers take up 2 lines here, okay? So we're going to say 23. And then when I put the 8, 8 is a number of ones, right? So I'm going to put it right underneath those 3 ones. It needs to be exactly lined up. It's very important. Okay, just like this. And you may have seen addition written like this before. Like we've seen it written with just one digit, right? Where we've stacked the numbers up and added them together. But now it's going to become very, very important that you're lining up the place value because this is going to affect how we add. Okay. All right. So just like we did today, the first thing I need to do is add my ones together. So here's how we're going to show that. I'm going to do a little V like this, a sideways V. That means that I'm taking those 2 numbers and I'm putting them together, okay? What is 3 plus 8? Think about it. 11, right? So let's write 11. All right? So here's what's going to happen, because just like today when we had 11 ones, we made 10 of those ones into a 10, didn't we? And we added it to the 2 other 10s. We're going to do that again. So we're going to show one arrow like this, and we're going to put that 10 over, that 1 10 over the 2 other 10s. So go ahead and do that, because this one is in the 10s place, right? Right in the circle. Okay. This one is in the ones place, so it is going to go down in the ones place of my answer. So let me say that one more time. The one that's in the 10s place, my arrow goes and I put it right above the 10s, the other 10s in the 10s place of this number. Okay, it goes right above that. The one in the ones place goes down, and it is the number in my ones place of my answer. Okay. Now I'm going to add my 2 10s plus my 1 10 that I regrouped, and that would be 3 10s altogether. Now what's my final answer? 31. Okay. We're going to do more examples. Don't worry. Let's do another one. Let's say that we have 49. Or let's write it up here first. 49 plus 7. Okay, 49 plus 7. So remember, when we line them up, we have to put the ones place right underneath the ones place of the other number. So I'm going to put my 7 ones right underneath those 9 ones. And I'm going to put my plus sign here and do my little line. And remember, what's the first thing I do when I'm adding bigger numbers? I add the ones. I do not want you to do this. Do not do that. Okay, we always start with the ones place. So 9 ones plus 7 ones. So do your little thing that means to bring together. Okay, what is 9 plus 7? 16. 16. And remember, when do I have to regroup? Do you remember? Do you remember when I have to regroup? It's only if this number is 10 or more. Okay, if this is 10 or more than 10, I do have to regroup and make a 10 to put with the other 10s. Okay, so the 10s place number is going to get regrouped up here. And then the ones place goes down in the ones place of my answer. So the 1 10 goes with the other 10s. The 6 ones goes in my answer. Okay. Now that I've added my ones and I regrouped, now I'm going to add my tens together. 1 plus 4 equals 5. So my final answer is 56. So you notice how we're not having to add big numbers in our head, are we? We're only having to add small numbers. We're only having to add, literally, we added 9 plus 7 and we added 4 plus 1. That's all we had to do. We didn't have to do 49, 50, 51, 52, 53. We didn't have to do all that. We just added 2 separate one-digit equations, didn't we? Yeah. Okay, let's do another one down here. Let's do one. Let's say 72 plus 5. 72 plus 5. So I'm going to stack them on top of each other. 72. Where does the 5 go? Under what number? It goes under the ones place, which is where the 2 is. So we're going to put the 5 right underneath there. Okay. And 72 plus 5 equals, I'm sorry, now I need to add my ones together, right? So I'm going to do my little thing right here that says joining those 2 ones together. So if I join 2 ones and 5 ones, if I add them together, what do I get? 7 ones. Is this number of ones 10 or more? No. So I do not regroup. Remember, we said less than 10, we don't regroup. 10 or more, we do have to regroup. So there's no number of 10s in the tens place for me to put up here. So this just goes straight down into my answer. Okay. So less than 10, it just goes straight down. There's no number. Technically, there's a 0 in the tens place right here, right? So I could put a 0 here, but if that's just adding 0 to something is you're not doing anything to the number. So we're going to erase that. Okay. So now all I have to do is add 7 plus nothing equals 7 tens. So now I have how much altogether? What number is this? 77. Okay. Let's do one more. Let's say 82 plus 8. 82 plus 8. So I'm going to write 82. Make sure you're writing really neatly, okay, so that you can read what you're doing, because this can get a little, all of these arrows and stuff can get a little messy if you're not writing neatly, all right? All right, here we go. Where's my 8 going to go? My 8 ones. It's going to go under the 2 ones, just like that. Okay. Now, I'm going to do my joining symbol where I'm going to join 8 and 2 together. If I add 8 and 2, what do I get? 10. Okay. Is my number of ones 10 or more? Yeah, it is. It's 10. So if it's 10, I'm going to have to take the tens place, regroup it with the other tens, and the ones place, which is 0, goes down in the ones place of my answer. Okay. Now I add my tens together. 1 10 plus 8 tens equals 9 tens. All right. Now, that's all you need to write tonight. Put your pencil down, and I'm going to show you 2 things that people do and make an error. All right. So you do not need to write this. I don't want you to write this. So put your pencil down. Put it down. Put it away. We don't need it. Okay. So let's say we were adding 45 plus 7. Okay. Here's one mistake people make. What's wrong with that? Think about what's wrong with that. They did not put the ones underneath the ones place over here. So what they would do is they would say, oh, 5 ones and 11 tens. Is 47 plus 5 equal to 115? Is that reasonable? That is not reasonable. That is not reasonable at all. Okay, here's something else that people do. They'll line it up, right? And here's what they'll do. They'll add the tens first, and they'll say, oh, 4 plus nothing is 4. 7 plus 5 is 12. Uh-oh. Is 45 plus 7, would it be reasonable that it's 412? No, something went wrong. So think about if your answer is reasonable, okay, before you say it's your final answer. So here's another mistake people make. They'll do this correctly. They'll add their ones and get 12, and they may put 2 up here and 1 down here. What mistake did they make? They put the tens place down and put the ones place up. This is not 2 tens. It is 2 ones. So it should not be lined up with the tens place. Okay, so I'm going to work this out for you just so you are not totally confused by the answer. So we added our ones together and got 12. My 10 goes up here with the other tens. my 1 comes down into the ones place of my answer. I add 1 10 and 4 10s, and I get 5 10s. And my answer would be 52. Is it reasonable that 45 plus 7 would equal 52? Absolutely. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Go head on over to Seesaw, and I just want you to try those 3 problems, okay? Just give it your best effort. Use what we did up here. Hold on. Use what we did up here, okay? I need to see, where'd my pen go? I need to see this strategy. You cannot not do the strategy, okay? All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you later.